First, new brunch Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Featuring bottomless mimosas. Brunch menu features some of the items listed on the screen. As you can see, get over to uzinaws.com to see full brunch menu, hours and more, or from Georgia Avenue today. And definitely stop by. All right, Ray, get your initial thoughts on this one. Because we were
Uh,
sitting next to each other, our thoughts, we didn't think it was going to end like this for a little while. They had a whole lot of negative, and then they turned this thing around. So, what'd you think?
it's a big time win, man. They definitely feel like they made things a little harder than they need to be, but all's well that ends well. But yeah, man, they started off pretty strong. Had a solid first quarter. Um, Bill's eyes got really big every time he saw Duncan Robinson in front of him, and he finished the quarter 4 for 4, 10 points. They were the Wizards were aggressive as a whole. They got to the line 7 times, and they were able to keep Miami off the line. They were disciplined and defended without fouling, but they had 7 turnovers in the first quarter. That's something that's been plaguing them. It's kind of a continued thing from the last game, but you know, first half it was neck and neck. They held the Heat to 1 for 14 from three in the half, but the second quarter they got a little lazy, stopped playing defense with their hands and not moving their feet, and allowed Miami to get to the line 12 times, and they made 10 of those free throws. If they were able to kind of keep them from getting those easy points, then they would have had a little cushion going into the half. But overall, neither team really shot well from the field. The Wiz, they missed a lot of opportunities, some layups, some easy ones, got away from them. So that's definitely something they need to clean up. But as we got into the second half, the Wizards of old started rearing their ugly heads. For the first time this season on the defensive end, we kind of saw the lackluster effort and people looking lost. They missed some rotations. PJ Tucker got 2 wide open corner threes, and that's how he makes his living on the offensive end. So that's the last shot you want to give up to him. But yeah, man, it was and they were getting visibly frustrated. So Wes Unseld Jr. called some timeouts, tried to get them back on track, and then on the offensive end, they went back to this contested 3-pointer with no ball movement system, which doesn't bode well for them. They dug themselves into a 16-point hole, but and Jimmy Butler got it going. But Trez, man, he really kind of came in and saved the day for him. He gave him a lot of energy. Had a couple of and ones, and was playing great defense. So during that little rally when the Wizards really fell down by a lot, Trez was there to kind of hold the fort down. And in the fourth quarter, man, the Wizards they just pulled fire late from three, and they were able to get the stops they needed to get the win. And then Kuz came up, stepped up confidently, made some big free throws down the stretch. Even though he's been struggling from the line so far this year, but he was level headed, and knocked him down, man. So it was a total team effort, and these are the type of wins that that kind of can turn things around for you. They were on a 2-game skid, and they had just lost to this team a couple days ago. So this was one that they needed, and they toughed it out and they were able to get the victory. So yeah, man, this team's got a lot of resolve. We've been saying that from jump, and they're deep. So they got that going for them. They just need to find a way to be more consistent on both ends. Having this is not an easy living, having to fight through all these tough games, man. You want to get somewhere you can kind of you kind of breathe easy at the end. But again, this was a big win for them. It's in conference, and they got another big conference game against Charlotte on Monday. So if they can come out with 2 victories, that'll put them in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, like we were mentioning during, at least definitely during the first half, it was just decisions that put them into the deficit. Whether it be not necessarily on the scoreboard either, just possession by possession, just a couple bad decisions that lead to it's like a trickle down effect on other things. And for too much of this game, we saw a whole lot of bad other things that I mentioned. I don't think there's any reason for me to go back and knock the ball, but I know it's going to look too much different. Um, And I'm sure something that they didn't enjoy was there was a brief stretch here in the third quarter, at the 7-minute mark. Let's go Miami just broke out in their arena. Um, they responded accordingly. It took a little bit. They responded accordingly. Um, talking with you during the game, one thing is I hope that they start to do a little bit better job of, uh, particularly the guards, is just realizing where the mismatches are and getting the ball there immediately. We saw Miami do on the other side far too much. Anytime Jimmy had a guard on him, that ball, it was like a magnet. Everyone in Miami knew what time it was. They got the ball down to him immediately. Same thing with Bam for a little while there. Um, but again, I was impressed with how they were able to bounce back and lock down defensively. And again, like I'm cool with the threes. I just want them in rhythm. Like if it's a contested three in rhythm, like it's cool. It's in rhythm. They hit some of those in the fourth quarter. Like there was a stretch where it was Bill, Dinwiddie, and KCP all knocking down threes, and it's not like all of them were wide open, but they were all in rhythm. Um, and, that what makes it frustrating sometimes when they settle for threes is the fact that Spencer and Brad have the ability to get downhill off the bounce and get into the paint, draw fouls, create trouble, collapse the defense, and kick, and move the defense. Like they have the ability to do so. So when they don't, it's just a bit frustrating. But one thing I really appreciated the job that Kuzma did tonight because Gafford and Trez ended up with foul trouble in the first half. Right now, with no Thomas Bryant, who's playing center. And he spent a lot of time at the five tonight because those two foul trouble. And obviously, offensively, he did not ignite offensively. He mentioned the free throws late, which was huge. But he had to he had to battle on the glass, and he did his part down there. So I'm going to commend him on that. I think you pretty much laid that out. But who did you have as player of the game for this?
Honestly, man, I went with Jimmy Butler. Couldn't nobody guard him. He was dominant. Even though they weren't able to get the win, but he was the best player on the floor tonight to me. 11 for 19, 29 points. Like you said, man, like if somebody that wasn't deemed worthy was guarding him, Miami got him the ball immediately and he went to work, man. So yeah, again, even though they weren't able to get the win, I'll give him the nod.
I'm not mad at that. I agree. I know Washington did win, but I can't give it to Brad. Those 6 turnovers make me. I just can't do that. And then Spence, like it was great that he stepped up late, but it was late in this one. It took a while before he really got assertive. Like he was noticeably more assertive at the start of the fourth quarter. Big nights from Trez and Kuz, and I'll get to them at least for me a little bit later. But yeah, I'm with Jimmy. He did what he wanted. Like he literally didn't face any resistance, I think, until like that last shot when Trez was on him, like late in the game. So that's 3.5 quarters of literally little to no resistance. Comfortably getting to a spot, knocking down turnaround jumper after turnaround jumper, elbow jumper after elbow jumper. In case you took away his space, he was just like, hey, look, the ref's calling things pretty tight. I'm going to lower my shoulder, drag you into the paint, and at some point the whistle's going to blow. He was amazing tonight, so I'm not mad at that at all. Who do you have as your X factor?
I had Trez, for that stint in the third quarter where nobody else on the Wizards could do anything positive. He was kind of the lifeline, and pretty much saved it from getting extremely out of hand. And then in the fourth quarter, his defense, man, we saw him switch on to Tyler Hero, play some great defense on the perimeter, then switch on to Jimmy, and stop him from getting a good look. And then he's just everywhere. So basically what he's been doing this entire season, man, just giving him that energy and that life. That's what he's expected to bring, and he brought it tonight.
Yeah, it was a tough to choose that for me. I went with Spence just because that 16. I got to go back and see exactly when it all happened, but it felt like the chunk of it was in the fourth, and they did every bit of it. And it was hard for me to choose, but that's when Miami's defense finally started to break down a little bit when he joined the party offensively, because it was another person to get down there when Beal didn't have it, open things up. KCP got a little bit more space. Like he joined the party, everything got going. So that's why I made that decision. Again, like you laid out, Monday they got Charlotte, big opportunity to bounce back because they lost to Miami a couple nights ago. They bounced back today. Definitely want to take care of Charlotte on Monday also. And um, tonight I think Charlotte's down to Atlanta right now. So all these teams in the division need that. So, that said, we don't have anything in the comments right now. So you guys have a good night. See you guys.